Kaleidoscope. I'm Dustin Dumas Weeks, and each show we bring you a different topic, and today we are going to be talking about loom knitting. I'm joined today by Violet Mwape, and she is going to tell us a little bit about loom knitting and how it's a little different from normal knitting. So first of all, thank you, Violet, for coming.
Thank you. Thank you for having me.
So as I mentioned, we are going to talk about loom knitting versus normal or traditional knitting. I know that you've done both,
Yes.
but I wanted to know, why did you decide to cross over to loom knitting?
First of all, loom knitting. I use looms to knit, and that the type of looms that I use, they can come in different sizes and shapes.
Okay.
Yeah, and also I just find it to be easier and quicker than using needles. And I know a lot of people are really familiar with using needles, but the looms are not a lot of people use those type of looms. And here with me, I have different types of looms.
Okay.
I have the smallest one, and this is the medium one, and the large one is here. And these, you can use them to make a hat.
So so I'm looking at the big yellow one, and may I have that for a second?
Sure.
So I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, okay, what else can you make besides a hat? Because this looks this looks a little large for a hat. So you can use the round looms to make hats, but what else can you use them for?
You can also use them to make blankets. You can start
Okay.
from here and come all the way and end over here.
Okay.
And you can use to make them also for other things, not only hats. As you can see, this is so big, you know. Yeah, but I prefer using this one for a hat. This is a medium hat.
Okay.
You can make it for kids, and you can use it also for adults.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. So I noticed that you also have another type. You have the round looms, and you
Oh,
also
yeah.
have, it looks like, straight looms as well. So, what would be the use for the straight looms?
The use for straight looms are, you can use them for blankets, and you can also use them for scarves. Normally, I use them for scarves.
Okay, and
Yes.
I'm just gonna grab one just to show people. So this is the straight loom, and this is what you would use.
This is the straight loom. This loom over here, you can use it for a scarf.
Okay.
This is a regular size scarf.
And
Yeah.
there are two other
and
sizes.
there are
too.
also
Yeah.
other sizes. There's different types of sizes.
Okay.
And I would just say that you can just try out and see and how the type, you know, that if you want a small one, you can maybe take a smaller one. And if you want a big one, depending on what you want, you can also take a bigger loom.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, so that gets me to my next question. So I've decided that I'm going to make a hat. And do you have any suggestions on the type of yarn? Do you have any suggestions on the type of hat, or is there just one hat? What would you, like, if I'm starting out, what would I do?
There is no suggestions on what yarn you have to use. You can use any different types of yarn that you want. You can just like explore. That's what I do.
Okay.
I just use different types of yarn, and it's really amazing on what the result comes out.
Okay.
Yeah.
So it doesn't matter if I get because I know yarn comes in quite a range as far as the price. So it doesn't matter if I get the yarn that is less expensive, like $2, versus the yarn that's like $50 for, a ball. It doesn't really matter too much, like if you're just starting out.
It doesn't really matter, and yarn usually it's not that expensive.
Okay.
Maybe the expensive one would be maybe $6.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I usually go to stores like Essimore, Michael's to go get yarn, and that's also good. And also the thing is that you can also get these looms from those stores. You can also get them from online.
Okay.
And yeah, and so that's where I usually get my stuff.
Okay.
Yeah.
So basically, if I wanted to get like the round looms, how much am I talking about spending? Like if I wanted to get all
round looms
four.
are $19.95, $20.
You know it down to the penny. Okay.
$20.
$19.95. So I can get all four for that
Yes,
price.
you can get them the same price when you get them online. It's the same price.
Okay.
Yeah, so if you want to save yourself a trip, you can just get them online. But I'm gonna tell you something. There's coupons online. This is what I do. I go online, I get coupons, and then I go to Essimore, and you can get that for 50%.
Wow.
Yeah, 50%
Okay.
place, and that means you can get it for $10 instead of $20.
And that's great for people to know, because in case they would like to try it out but they're not sure, $10 is very it's inexpensive enough for them to try it out without feeling like they have invested a lot. Also, we have the other looms, and I know those come in a set of 4 as well. Are those also $20 for 4?
They're the same price, yes.
Okay.
They are all $19.95.
Okay, all $19.95, but if you're able to find this coupon, 50% off, so we're talking $10.
We're taking off $10.
All right.
So let me say, if you had to buy yarn, I usually get about 3 balls of yarn. I can make a scarf, I can make a hat, and I can make mittens from those.
From 3 balls.
From 3 balls. So I'm talking of maybe, let me say, if I get yarn for $3 each ball, and that would be $6. And so I will have $6 of a scarf, mittens, and a hat.
Wow.
So that's really pretty
just
good.
from 2 balls, you can get 3 items.
Yes.
Wow, that's pretty amazing. And for $6.
For $6.
Okay, so that leads me to the next question. So if I'm a beginner, what would you suggest I make?
If you're a beginner, I would suggest you start with a scarf, because that's what I started with.
Oh, okay.
Yes. And you really, there's no like complicated rules to follow.
Okay.
Yeah. And so if you're a beginner, maybe just start off with a scarf, because it's just something just going on and on and on.
Okay.
Straight. Yeah.
And I know the second half of the show, you're going to demonstrate, you're going to show us a scarf and some other items that you have already knitted, and you're going to show us how to get started, how to end, and just the process.
Yes.
Okay. So I noticed that you also have some books here.
Oh, yeah.
First of all, is this did you learn how to loom knit with a book?
Oh, well, I didn't. Actually, I used to crochet a lot.
Okay.
Yes, and one day I went to a store, and I just happened to find these looms. I was like, oh, let me just try out and get some. I got some, and I went home and I started just trying out different things. And I went on YouTube, and by the way, YouTube is you can follow along with that on YouTube. So I would suggest that people just go on YouTube and follow along.
Okay.
And also, but some people can use different types of books. Over here, I have books with me. So some people can just try out different books. And if you are not like a person like me, I'm not good at following books.
Okay.
I'll just go to YouTube.
Okay.
You know,
and so I could actually go onto YouTube, not knowing anything about knitting, just having the looms and the yarn, and that would be fine.
Yes. If I can do it, everybody can do it.
Okay, that sounds good. Can you just show we only have about 30 seconds left before we go to break.
Okay.
And
I have 4 books with me over here. This is another type of book that I have with me. And there's another one. There's a lot of amazing things you can make.
Okay.
You know. Yeah, and then there's this one too.
Okay, but it sounds like you basically, and your experience though has been, you just decided to try making a scarf using the instructions that you got on YouTube. You didn't necessarily follow a book. Maybe you looked at it for inspiration, but you didn't look at it and say, okay, I'm going to do this exact pattern.
Yeah, this is really funny because I bought the book and I've never even used it. I've made so many things and I've never
Wow.
used the book.
Okay, so this is really exciting because now we'll get a chance to see exactly what you've made without ever using a book and only using, it sounds like, YouTube.
Yes.
Okay. Well, thank you so much, Violet. We're going to break right now, and we're going to come back in just a few moments and see what Violet has brought us.
In this economic downturn, libraries across New Jersey are reporting jumps in attendance of as much as 50% over the past year. Nearly 200,000 people use our computers every week.
Who'd have guessed that I'd be job hunting at my age? After spending several hours at home trying to upload my resume, I was just overwhelmed. My library showed me how to do it. Now I'm gaining back my confidence.
New Jersey libraries are transforming lives. Tell us your story.
And welcome back to Dustin's Kaleidoscope. I'm here with Violet Mwape, and she, during the first half of the show, she told us a little bit about loom knitting and the different things you can make, how long it would take, about the different types of yarn, and now we're just going to get right into it, and she's going to show us how to knit. So, first of all, we talked a little bit about the looms, but I'm sure there are other tools that you need in order to loom.
Yes.
To knit loom.
Yes. Before we talked about the looms and the different types of looms that we need. And also there are other things that we need.
Okay.
I have a little, thing that I use to hold in.
What's this?
This is a crocheting needle.
Oh.
You use a crochet needle to cast off. That's what I use it for. And there is also the knitting. I call it the knitting hook.
Okay.
Yeah. And also there's a needle over here. Maybe if you want to put something together, you can use it.
Okay.
Yes. And also you need a pair of scissors to cut.
Of course.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I also have like straw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I use a straw because I find it very easy and quicker when I'm going through the pigs over here.
Okay.
Yeah, it's very quick.
Oh,
It's
that's
magical.
awesome. Okay, well,
Yes.
I'm ready to get started. So I know you're going to take us through how to cast on, a little bit of knitting, and then you're going to teach us how to bind off so that after people have seen the show, at least they'll know the 3 things to do in order to make a scarf and a hat. So can you get started and show us how we would start a project?
Sure. Okay. The first thing you have to do is you don't have to use the straw. This is only my thing that I do.
Okay.
But if you decide to use a straw, the first thing you would want to do is to put the straw inside the yarn and to make a knot. I already did that. I already made a knot.
Awesome.
And you're gonna take the knot that you made and you're gonna put it on the peg, on the side peg over here.
Okay.
Yes. And I hope you can see this, but
You want me to hold it up, maybe?
I think that's fine. Yeah, I'm good.
Okay.
So this is what you're gonna do. You're gonna crisscross the you're gonna criss it across like let me see, like that.
Okay.
Yeah. I hope this is
It looks like you're
clear.
skipping each peg, and
Yes.
then once you've done that, we can hold it up and show people the design or the pattern.
This is, see, it's really quick.
Yeah, it is
You
very
can just
quick.
go like that. Yeah.
Okay.
So this is how you're gonna begin, and you have to. This is how you're
Let me
gonna
just
do
see.
it.
So it's basically looks like a bunch of X's, and all you did was go. You skipped a peg and
You
went
skip one, yes,
and go up and down.
and then you're gonna go through the pegs that you left open.
Okay, so this, what kind of stitch is this? Is this the single or the double?
This is what we call a double stitch. What I'm using here. There's also a single stitch. A single stitch you will only have to use 1 row over here.
Okay.
Yeah, and a double stitch you will have to use both rows.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So you will have to do it twice in order for it. So it gives you like okay, there we go. You will have to again do the same thing you did.
Uh-huh.
You're gonna do it. Okay. There we go.
And so while you're doing this, basically this allows you to, because I noticed that you're doing it across, meaning a double stitch. So that can I assume that would mean that it would be a little thicker scarf or project as opposed to the single stitch?
Yes, normally I do my scarves using double stitch because they come out like thick, you know, and they're really warm. You can also do a single stitch, the scarf will come out just like a little bit lighter.
Okay.
Yeah, and so you're gonna take your knitting hook. Okay. And this is how you're gonna do. You're gonna just take like the bottom, from the bottom. You're gonna put it up there. So you and you're gonna continue doing that, the same thing, until you're done.
Okay, so you're basically just releasing the bottom stitch and pulling it over the top stitch.
Exactly.
And you would do that all the way around?
And you do it all around,
awesome.
And then you're gonna do the same thing the way I started.
Okay.
And as you go on, your scarf is going to look like this.
Wow.
Yes.
So it's just going to fall through the bottom or through I guess just to show people, this is the back. And so this is where, once you've knit enough, it's going to fall like that. Okay.
Yes. And this is why I say this is a great thing to start with if you're a beginner.
Yeah.
Because it will just go on and on and on and on. You know, you can even make a blanket.
Okay.
Yeah, as you can see, like for a beginner, you don't really have to know a lot. This is what I did when I just started. So this was my first thing that I did.
Wow.
My first scarf. Yes.
And it looks so professional.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Thank you.
It looks great.
Yeah. Yeah. I was surprised when I was like, oh my gosh, like look what I did. I didn't think I was capable of doing this. And the second thing I did was a baby blanket. Okay. As you can see, because this is the same yarn.
The same yarn?
Yes.
Okay.
So the second thing I did was a blanket.
Okay.
Yeah, this is a baby blanket.
Okay.
You can see.
So after you've started knitting for a while and you decide, okay, well, now I want to end the project. It's either a scarf or it's a blanket or a panel, I guess, of a blanket. How would you bind off?
Bind off. Okay, to bind off.
Or cast off.
Okay, now this is where the crocheting needle comes in.
Okay.
This is how you're gonna bind off. I didn't finish all the way, but I'm just gonna show you here where I did this.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna take the crochet needle.
Okay.
And you're gonna take one like that. And I don't know if this is clear, but and you would just like continue putting them together, like closing them, I would say.
Okay.
Yeah. And then, so you will go on and on like that. You're going across, yes.
Okay. Okay.
So you're going on and on like that until you're done and everything will be out.
Okay, and so when it's done, it would have this edge. It would have that kind of edge.
Yes, and this is how it's going to come out.
Okay.
Like that.
And that's it. So
that's it.
And okay. So for something like this, how long did it take you to make this?
This was my first scarf. It took me maybe like 3 days.
Wow.
But now I can do a scarf in 1 day or so now because I'm a pro.
You're a pro now. Yes.
Yeah.
That's
and
great.
Yeah, and also I think you remember we also talked about the round hat.
Yeah.
Yes, and this you can make the hat. I have like some hat that I made with them.
Okay.
Yeah, and also
is this one of them?
This is one of them. It has been worn a lot.
Wow.
Yeah.
A testament to how much they liked it. Okay.
Yes. Yeah. So this is some of the things that have been done, and this is also a scarf.
Oh, that's very nice.
Yeah, it is really warm.
Wow.
It is really warm. This is the yarn using this.
Okay, so this is a little different from the yarn that we discussed earlier. So do you have to use more of this yarn versus the thicker yarn, or does it matter? It just depend on your taste, or
as I said in the beginning, it doesn't really matter what yarn you use. I think later we're going to see some of the scarves that I've made before.
Okay.
Yeah, and different types of yarn, you can be amazed on how the scarf or the hat comes out to be. So it doesn't really matter. And you're gonna also see that the same stitch that I used,
Okay.
just because I'm using the different yarn, it comes out like totally different.
Really?
Yeah. So
Okay.
it doesn't really matter. I also like to just try and see how it's gonna like end up to be.
Okay.
Yeah.
So why don't we do that now? Why don't we step over to the board behind
Sure.
us, and you can show us a few things. So I think the first of all, are these different stitches? Are these all, or are they the same stitch, or?
Okay, these all here are the same stitch.
So the
I know they
double
look
stitch?
different. The double stitch. I know they look different, but it's because of the yarn.
Wow.
Yeah, and this one over here, it's the same. All of them are the same stitch. So maybe you can just like take out
how about
some
this
of
one?
them. Yeah.
I like I like this. I personally like this one.
Yeah, you can just take out some of them, and with this one, it's a scarf, but you can also wear it as a
Wow, that's very
as a
nice.
hat, you know. Yeah, it's really warm.
Wow, that's very nice.
Yeah, it's warm.
Wow, and it's cute. I like the color. I like the
Yeah,
color
oh,
scheme.
yeah, and there's also a mitten for it over here.
And you made those two, I take it. Oh, and wow.
This
So
is-
how,
yeah.
this is okay. So the looms that you have shown us are the round ones. But did you? I'm just gonna step over here. Did you use this? I'm assuming for that or no?
No, I use the straight. I use a straight one.
Okay, the small straight one. Okay,
the small one, and then I put it together using the needle.
the needle that you
Yes.
mentioned that we needed. Okay.
Yeah, this is just something. It's not like something
That's-
complicated.
Okay. That's
Yeah.
So would a beginner be able to make like the glove and add? I guess this is called a cowl. I don't know. Would they
I
be
call
able to
it
make
the
this?
2-in-1 scarf.
The 2-in-1 scarf. I like that name better. Very, very good. So this is basically like a scarf that you have sewn with a big needle. Is that correct?
This is even a beginner can do this. This is like the normal scarf that I showed you.
So this
earlier
one
on.
right
Yes.
here. Let me just. So something like this, and
Yes.
then
Yes, and you just put it together with the needle. I think we remember
the big needle. Okay, so
the big needle.
and that's something. This is not your normal needle. This is like a yarn or a
yarn,
knitting
yes.
needle because it's much
It's a
bigger and it's
knitting needle.
plastic.
Yeah.
Okay, so
Yeah, it's plastic. It's
Okay, so something like this would also you could use that to make this.
You can also use this. I think this will be beautiful too.
Okay,
Yeah.
great. It's good to know. Okay, so you mentioned that these are all the same stitch, but they came out so differently. And you mentioned that it's because of the type of yarn that it is. What if I noticed with the red and the black, I think you said you had a red and a black
Yarn.
but it was the same type.
Yes, this is the same yarn that I use for the red and black
Okay.
scarf over here, but I mix the colors.
Okay.
This is red and black, and this is just one color over here.
Okay.
Yeah, it kind of looks the same, but
Yeah, but it's different.
Yeah.
It's when you're looking at this and you're thinking about, anybody who's thinking about doing loom knitting, you can, with one loom or with a set of looms, you can make things that are so totally different looking. This doesn't look the same as this, but you're using the same technique and the same loom.
Yes.
You're just using different yarn.
Yes, and another thing I think I forgot to mention is that sometimes you'll be like, oh, the yarn is too thin,
Okay.
and sometimes the scarf, even if you do a double stitch, it will come out very thin. You can still use double yarn at the same time, and it will come
okay.
out thick. And this is what I did with this scarf over here, and I did the same thing with this one.
Okay, so
Yes.
these are actually two balls of yarn that you used
At the
once.
same time, and using a double stitch.
And you use a double stitch. Okay. So So one thing I wanted to mention, because I think you did not mention it earlier, is that for the round looms and for the straight looms, it's the same exact process. You're not doing anything differently as far as like for single stitching. Is
Okay.
that correct? Like
for the hats, what I use the round looms.
okay.
In that way, the round looms and using single stitch.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. But it looks like all came out. I mean, it looks the same to me.
They
You know what I mean?
They look the same because I doubled the yarn.
I see.
As you can see
Okay.
on this one, I didn't even use 2. I used 3 yarn at the same time.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay. You know, I think we have a few moments. I wanted you to demonstrate the single stitch.
Oh, sure. We can do that.
So we're going to step back over here,
Okay.
and I will just give you this loom, and we can demonstrate. Do you want to use the round, or do you want to use a round?
Use the round.
That's a great idea. Okay.
Yes.
So you can grab this ball of yarn if you want to. So and we'll move this out of the way. So this was your example of the double stitch. And now you're going to show us the single stitch, which you can use for not only for hats. You just happen to be using a round loom. You can also use this on the straight loom too.
Sure, yes.
Okay.
You can use it, but you don't have to use the other row. You can only use one row.
Okay.
Yes, if you decide to use the single stitch.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
So I'm going to do the same thing I did with the other one. I'm going to make a knot and put it on the side here because this is like it supports you as you start in the
Okay.
beginning. So this time I'm not using a straw.
Okay.
It's going to be a little bit,
We'll see a difference.
you're going to see the difference, sure. So this is how the double, this is the single stitch, sorry.
Okay.
Yeah. So you're gonna like that.
So you're just basically
You're just
rolling
gonna
it around.
rolling around and around.
And you would do
Yes.
the same thing with the straight loom. Just you wouldn't necessarily go all the way around. You could, but you just wouldn't attach them.
You would do the same with the straight loom, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And I can hold this. So this, one thing I noticed is that it's a tad bit slower without the straw that you
I'm
use.
glad that you've noticed that. Yeah.
Well, this is a nice tool for people who are, because I think the worst thing is to have somebody try a new project and then say, oh, it's too slow, or I don't know how to do it. But just a simple straw helps you go faster.
So over here, I've started again. You have to go through again so that you can have the yarn double here.
Okay, that's the same as, so you have 2 rows.
Yes, and after you've gone through around like that, you're going to take the knitting hook and you're going to do the same thing you were doing in the double stitch.
Okay.
Yes. So you're just going to be putting that out like that.
Okay. And so at some point when you do all of that, then you're going to have a hat.
At some point you're going to have a hat.
It comes, like if I'm thinking of the hat, it'll be this way basically, right?
It'll be like that. Yes.
Okay.
It'll be coming out like that.
This has been tied up obviously because this will be a big tube, right?
Yes.
Like
it has been tied up. It's eventually it's going to come out like that.
Okay.
And you're going to finish it. And with the hat, I'm not going to finish it. I'm not going to cast it off right now. We're using the crocheting needle. I'm going to use the needle.
Oh, the needle. Okay.
Yes. And this is what I'm going to do.
Okay.
And I'm going to pull it all together. Like that. Yeah.
So so basically when your hat is done, it's a big tube. Then you're going to cinch up one end of the tube to make the top of the hat, and then you have your beautiful hat.
Yes.
That's great.
Also, I just want to say that I'm sure people are like, oh, when does she get time to do these?
Yes. Like how do you have to really concentrate when you're doing this?
No, you don't have to. I usually do this because it's a way of the way I relax. Let me say.
Okay.
I will do it when I'm watching American Idols, when I'm watching my other favorite TV shows. Yeah, as you can see, my other scarf, where is it? Oh, this one.
Okay.
The other scarf, I made it when I was watching the Giants game, and
Okay.
It's
so
just
you don't have to have 100%,
you don't have to concentrate.
Concentration on this. Okay. Well, Violet, thank you so much for coming and showing us how to basically loom knit. I appreciate it, and all of your beautiful scarves and hats and gloves. It's wonderful. So thank you so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. This was fun.
And if there's one tip that you could give people, what would it be regarding the loom knitting?
Well, I would just say enjoy it. Enjoy
Okay.
it. Have fun with it.
That sounds good.
Go for it. If I can do it, you can do it.
Well, thank you so much. And we will come back next time and have more new things to show you.